The moment you've been waiting for is here, but not in the way you expected. Something powerful is unfolding in the cosmos, and most people have no idea what's coming. Mercury and Saturn are aligning, but this is not just another planetary event. This is a cosmic reckoning, a moment of truth that will reshape the way you see your life. The signs are already appearing: unexpected delays, miscommunications, a strange sense that time itself is bending. This conjunction isn't here to make things easy. It's here to test you, to reveal what you've been avoiding, to push you toward a transformation you can no longer ignore. And if you're not prepared, you might mistake its lessons for obstacles. But if you listen, if you truly understand what's happening, you'll see that this alignment carries a message, one that could change everything. Let's decode it. Stay with me. Mercury, the planet of communication, thought and perception, is meeting Saturn, the ruler of discipline, karma, and hard-earned wisdom. When these two forces collide, the universe isn't just whispering, it's demanding your attention. Imagine Mercury as the restless messenger, delivering truths at lightning speed, while Saturn stands as the ancient gatekeeper, ensuring nothing superficial gets through. This conjunction is like trying to sprint through a storm. Every step forward is met with resistance, forcing you to slow down, reflect, and face what you've been avoiding. Symbolically, this alignment is a bridge between thought and reality, between what you believe and what is truly possible. Saturn strips away illusions, leaving only the undeniable truth. That's why, during this time, you may feel as if the world is testing your patience, exposing weak foundations in your life, or revealing where you've been dishonest with yourself. But why now? Because the universe knows you're ready. This isn't punishment, it's preparation. And if you embrace it, the path ahead will be clearer than ever. You've noticed it. The conversations that used to flow effortlessly now feel strained. The decisions that once seemed clear now come with hesitation. Lately, it's as if the universe is pressing the brakes on everything, forcing you to take a step back and pay attention. Mercury and Saturn's conjunction isn't here to make things easy. It's here to make things undeniable. Have you been speaking your truth, or have you been saying what's convenient? Have you been listening to what others are telling you, or only hearing what you want to hear? Think about the relationships in your life, the people you trust, the ones you keep at arm's length, the ones you've let go of. Saturn governs boundaries, and Mercury controls how we express ourselves. When they meet, there's no room for avoidance. This energy asks you to examine where you've been too rigid and where you've been too lenient. Have you drawn the right lines, or have you built walls where bridges should be? It's no surprise that conversations feel heavier under this alignment. Words carry weight now. A simple exchange can reveal deeper truths, sometimes in ways you weren't expecting. A casual message from someone you haven't spoken to in years. A sentence spoken in passing that lingers in your mind for hours. A long overdue discussion that finally happens but doesn't go the way you planned. And then there's the internal dialogue, the voice inside your head. Saturn demands accountability, and Mercury amplifies your thoughts. Have you noticed old memories resurfacing? Regrets, doubts, things you thought you moved past, creeping back into your consciousness. This isn't by accident. Saturn doesn't let unfinished lessons fade away. It makes sure you see them, understand them, and, when the time is right, finally release them. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just about reflection. It's about choice. The universe isn't forcing you into anything. It's simply showing you the truth and waiting to see what you'll do with it. Will you keep ignoring what's uncomfortable? or will you finally face it? Because that's what this energy is really about. Clarity. Not the comforting kind, but the kind that strips away illusions. The kind that makes you see yourself, your patterns, your mistakes, your potential, with stark honesty. And that kind of clarity, it changes everything. Life is full of noise. Conversations filled with half-truths, distractions that pull you away from what really matters, thoughts that race so fast they blur into background static. But now, under this cosmic alignment, that noise is starting to fade. What's left? The things you can no longer ignore. Mercury and Saturn are placing a mirror in front of you. Not the kind that flatters, but the kind that shows every detail, the beauty and the flaws, the wisdom and the mistakes. And that's the point. This moment isn't about self-judgment. It's about self-awareness. Think of your life as a book. Mercury is the writer, shaping your thoughts into words, while Saturn is the editor, cutting away what doesn't serve the story. Right now, the universe is asking you to do the same. Look at the narrative you've been telling yourself, the beliefs you've clung to, the stories you repeat in your mind about who you are, what you can do, and what's possible for you. Are they true? Or have you been writing the same chapter over and over, afraid to turn the page? This conjunction is the turning point, a crossroads, a moment where you either choose growth or stay in the loop of repetition. And that choice starts with how you handle the discomfort this energy brings. It's easy to resist, to see delays and obstacles as the universe working against you, to get frustrated when things don't go according to plan. But what if every roadblock was actually a redirection? What if the unanswered text, the sudden shift in a relationship, or the unexpected silence was actually clearing space for something better? Saturn's lessons are never about punishment. They are about alignment. It strips away what is weak, leaving only what is strong enough to stand. And Mercury, in its infinite curiosity, asks you to explore those changes instead of fighting them. What is life showing you right now? What patterns are repeating? What truth keeps knocking on your door, waiting for you to finally let it in? Maybe it's time to have that difficult conversation, the one you've been avoiding because you already know the answer will change everything. Maybe it's time to let go of a habit, a mindset, a belief that no longer fits the person you're becoming. Or maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop waiting, to stop hesitating, to finally take that step forward, even if you don't know where the path leads yet. Because that's the real test of this conjunction. Not whether you can endure the challenges, but whether you can recognize the gift hidden within them. Saturn may slow things down, but Mercury reminds you that even in stillness, there is movement. Even in silence, there is understanding. The question is, will you listen? Listening isn't always easy. The mind is conditioned to seek comfort, to grasp onto what feels familiar, even when it no longer serves you. But Mercury and Saturn don't care about comfort. They care about truth. And truth has a way of making itself known, whether you're ready for it or not. So what happens when you stop resisting, when you stop seeing this moment as a challenge and start seeing it as an invitation? The moment you shift your perspective, everything changes. Imagine you're carrying a heavy backpack. Inside, there are things you've collected over the years, old fears, outdated beliefs, regrets, unspoken words, missed opportunities. Every time you refuse to face something, it gets added to the weight on your back. At first, it's manageable, but over time, it slows you down. It drains your energy. It keeps you from moving forward as freely as you could. This conjunction is the moment you stop walking, take off the backpack, and start unpacking. One by one, you look at what's inside, not with guilt, not with fear, but with understanding. Some things you'll realize are no longer needed. Others you'll see in a new light, recognizing their purpose in shaping who you are today. The key is honesty. Mercury rules the mind, the way we think, the way we communicate, not just with others, but with ourselves. And Saturn, the planet of structure and discipline, demands that we build on a foundation of truth. If you've been telling yourself a story that no longer fits about your worth, your potential, your limits, this is the time to rewrite it. Start by noticing your inner dialogue. Pay attention to the words you use when you speak to yourself. Are they kind, encouraging, or are they laced with doubt and fear? Mercury reminds you that thoughts create reality. If you tell yourself you're stuck, you will be. If you tell yourself you're unworthy, you'll believe it. But if you tell yourself you're capable, if you remind yourself that growth comes from challenge, that wisdom is earned through experience, then Saturn will reward that effort. Practical action is just as important as inner reflection. If there's a conversation you need to have it. If there's a decision you've been delaying, make it. If you feel the urge to change something, your routine, your habits, your relationships, take that first step, even if it's small. Saturn respects discipline, and Mercury rewards clarity. The more aligned your actions are with your truth, the more the universe will support you. You don't have to figure everything out overnight. You don't have to have all the answers. But you do have to start. Because the longer you wait, the heavier that backpack becomes. And the more you resist, the harder the lessons will feel. But here's the beautiful part. Once you let go of what no longer serves you, once you step into this new version of yourself, things begin to align in ways you never expected. The conversations that once felt difficult become opportunities for deeper connection. The obstacles that once frustrated you turn into stepping stones. The delays that once felt like setbacks reveal themselves as divine timing. This conjunction isn't here to test you, it's here to prepare you for something bigger, for something you might not even see coming yet. But when it arrives, you'll be ready. And that changes everything. But readiness isn't about having everything figured out. It's not about knowing every step before you take it. It's about trust, trusting yourself, trusting the process, and trusting that even the challenges have a purpose. Saturn doesn't reward shortcuts, it rewards perseverance. And Mercury, the planet of thought and communication, reminds you that your mind is the most powerful tool you have. So how do you prepare for what's coming? How do you align yourself with the energy of this conjunction instead of resisting it? You start by shifting your mindset. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, see them as teachers. Instead of feeling frustrated by delays, ask yourself what they're revealing. If something isn't happening as quickly as you'd like, maybe it's because something better is being prepared for you. If a door has closed, maybe it's because it was leading you in the wrong direction. Have you ever noticed how the most meaningful changes in life often come after moments of struggle? The job loss that led to a better opportunity, the heartbreak that cleared the way for real love, the setback that forced you to grow in ways you never would have otherwise. This is Saturn's way of working. It challenges you not to break you, but to strengthen you. And Mercury, it gives you the insight to understand why these things are happening. So take a deep breath, slow down, reflect. What in your life feels misaligned? What truth have you been avoiding? Where do you need to be more honest with yourself? The answers are already within you. You just have to be willing to listen. And then, once you have that clarity, take action. It doesn't have to be drastic. Maybe it's setting a boundary where one is needed. Maybe it's speaking your truth, even when your voice shakes. Maybe it's finally walking away from something that has been draining you for far too long. Because here's the thing, change is inevitable, but transformation, that's a choice. You can either fight against the shifts happening around you, clinging to the past, resisting what's meant for you, or you can embrace them. You can trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if you can't see the full picture yet. Mercury and Saturn are aligning to give you wisdom, strength, and a moment of undeniable truth. What you do with it is up to you. But one thing is certain. After this, you won't be the same. And that's exactly how it's meant to be. Everything has led to this moment. Every lesson, every delay, every challenge that tested your patience and resilience. You may not have realized it at the time, but the universe has been preparing you. Gently at first, then more insistently when you ignored the signs. And now, under this powerful alignment, you stand at the threshold of transformation. This is the turning point, the moment when hesitation can no longer hold you back, the moment when every excuse, every doubt, every fear must be met with the undeniable truth. You are capable of more. You have always been capable of more. And now, Mercury and Saturn demand that you step into that truth fully. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow"? How many times have you silenced your intuition because logic or fear convinced you that change was too risky? How many times have you stayed in situations, routines, or mindsets that you knew, deep down, were not meant for you? This conjunction is not here to simply remind you of your potential. It's here to push you into action. Because growth isn't comfortable. Change isn't easy. But what's harder? Staying in the same place, watching the days pass, knowing you were meant for more, but choosing to stay in the familiar because it feels safe. But safety is an illusion. What's truly safe is listening to your soul. What's truly secure is trusting that the universe is clearing the path for you, even if you don't understand it yet. The people who have drifted away, the opportunities that seem to slip through your fingers, the plans that fell apart, none of it was random. It was all recalibration. It was all making space for something greater. So here's the challenge, the moment where you decide. Are you going to let this powerful cosmic shift pass you by, remaining stuck in old cycles? Or are you going to wake up? Are you going to open your eyes to the truth that has been right in front of you all along? Mercury is handing you clarity. Saturn is giving you discipline. And together, they are offering you something priceless, the ability to rewrite your story. This is your invitation, your moment to shift, your chance to step forward, not with fear, but with certainty. So what will you do? Will you rise to meet this energy? Will you finally break the patterns that have kept you small? Because if you do, if you take even one step toward the life you're meant for, everything changes. And once you step into that truth, there's no turning back. And that's the beauty of this moment. There is no turning back. Once you see the truth, once you acknowledge the patterns, the limitations, the cycles that no longer serve you, you can't unknow them. The choice is now clear: evolve or remain the same. But here's the secret. Once you choose growth, the universe meets you halfway. Doors begin to open where you once saw only walls. Opportunities arise in places you never thought to look. The weight you've carried for so long begins to lift, and suddenly, the path ahead isn't so daunting. It's exhilarating, because you were never meant to stay stuck. You were never meant to live a life that feels dull, repetitive, or uninspired. You are meant to expand, to learn, to embrace the unknown with an open heart and an unshakable trust in your own power. So take that first step, no matter how small, no matter how uncertain. Take it, because on the other side of that leap is the life you were always meant to live. Everything we've talked about, every shift, every revelation, every truth is leading you to this final moment of decision. The universe has set the stage, aligning Mercury and Saturn in a way that forces clarity and transformation. You cannot ignore it. You cannot push it aside. It's here, right in front of you, waiting for you to take action. Think back to everything you felt in recent days. The tension, the longing for something more, the subtle but undeniable pull toward change. That's not your imagination. That's the energy of this conjunction working through you, calling you to step into your power, to stop playing small, to finally listen to what your soul has been trying to tell you. You know what needs to change. You've felt it for a long time. Maybe you've been hesitant, waiting for a sign, waiting for the right moment. But here's the truth. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. Right now, you have a choice. Will you step forward, even if it feels uncertain? Will you trust that every delay, every detour, every heartbreak has been leading you to this very moment? Or will you let fear convince you to stay where you are, trapped in the same cycles that have kept you from fully embracing your own potential? Saturn, the great teacher, is asking you to commit, to take responsibility for your path, to build something lasting, something meaningful, something real. And Mercury? Mercury is handing you the wisdom, the insight, the divine knowing that you are ready. This is not just another astrological event. This is a crossroads in your life, a moment where you can either wake up or turn away. And deep down, you already know what you must do. You don't have to move mountains overnight. You don't have to have everything figured out. But you do have to take the first step. And that step, it's as simple as making a decision. A conscious, undeniable decision that you are no longer available for the things that drain your energy, hold you back, or keep you stuck. Let this be the moment you decide to stop repeating old patterns, to release the doubts that tell you you're not ready. Because once you decide, once you say yes to yourself, everything shifts. And now I want to hear from you. Right here, right now, drop a comment below. What is one thing you are ready to release under this powerful conjunction? What is one step you are ready to take toward your highest path? Say it, declare it, put it into words, and let the universe witness your intention. And if this message resonated with you, if you felt even the smallest shift in your perspective, make sure to subscribe. There is so much more coming. More cosmic insights, more guidance, more deep, soul-stirring revelations that you don't want to miss. This is just the beginning. The energy is still building. The universe is still moving. And I'll be here to guide you through it all. Until next time, trust yourself, trust the process, and remember, this moment is not happening to you. It's happening for you. Now, what will you do with it? You are standing at the edge of something extraordinary. The universe isn't just nudging you, it's calling you, loudly, clearly, and it won't stop until you listen. So take this as your confirmation. The doubts, the hesitation, the fears, they are nothing compared to the power within you. You don't need permission to change. You don't need validation to step into your purpose. Everything you seek is already within you, waiting for you to claim it.